everyone, Fox is here, and yeah, I'm finally wearing a t-shirt. It's not a sweater weather anymore in Toronto. It's 13 degrees today that I'm super excited about, but it doesn't really look like spring yet. It's still really gray. There is no grass, no flowers. But you know what? I'll take it. Just this weather is fine with me. So today I'm bringing you a new type of video. I decided to do some sort of summary for March, and it will not only include the books that I've read in March, but also other stuff that I did. TV shows, movies that I watched, I don't know, plays, pretty much everything. So I'm going to try this type of format. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue. We'll see how it goes, but let's get started. March was a pretty good reading month, and I read 23 bookish things that include 15 graphic novels, 3 novels, and 5 ebooks. 2 of those 5 ebooks were actually short stories. The only audiobook that I listened in full in March was You See But You Do Not Observe. It's a short story based on Sherlock Holmes with sci-fi elements to it. I enjoyed it, but I think I gave it about 3 stars because the choice of the short story, canon short story by Arthur Conan Doyle, was a bit disappointing to me, as everyone pretty much either writes fan fiction or some sort of retellings of that story, and even though I enjoyed it, I didn't love it. In terms of books, my favorite book was Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I gave it 4.55 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's a sci-fi YA adult. I don't even know how to describe it. It's a pretty amazing book. That was the first book by V.E. Schwab that I read, and that is pretty good start. So I'm really excited to read more books by her. Out of 15 graphic novels that I read in March, I think 2 was my favorite graphic novel series, as well as Red Queens. I read Red Queens Volume 1 and I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved the art style, the storyline, and I also loved how badass the ladies are, the main characters. Absolutely amazing. So I'm looking forward to reading more volumes in the series, but probably 2. And also I started reading Manga X by Clamp, which is also very good. But for me, it's some sort of like revisiting the storyline, as I watched anime quite a while back. And I really enjoyed it too. So probably out of all graphic novels, I would pick 2 and X. Out of 5 ebooks on my Kindle that I read, I should probably mention Warm Up. It's a short story by V.E. Schwab set in the same world as Vicious, so I really enjoyed it. Another ebook that I really enjoyed was The Horse Mistress, book number 3, which is a mature fantasy romance type of novel by R.A. Stephan. I got it as an ARC and I really enjoyed it, so I just wanted to give it a shout out. In terms of movies, I watched only 2 movies, and that was Deadpool and Batman vs. Superman. Yes, both are Marvel Comics type of movies. I enjoyed both of them, but I would say that Deadpool was probably better. I know it has a lot of weird humor to it, but when I was watching Deadpool, I knew that it would have this sort of humor in it, and I was not offended or I was not surprised by it, and I thought that it was like a great parody type of movie on to superhero movies. But when I watched Batman vs. Superman, and everyone seems to like it, I didn't really enjoy the plot line. For me, there was no depth, there is no real reasoning behind characters' actions. Some of the plot twists didn't make much sense, and it was a very pretty picture. The music was astounding. It's Hans Zimmer, so I know he always does very good music, very good soundtracks to movies, and the music was perfect. The cinematography was amazing. The way they shot the movie, the way they did the colors was very, very good. But I mean, I watched it as a music video essentially. There was no plot, and even though in the first part of the movie they raised a very good question about whether Superman should be responsible for his actions, because whenever he saves someone, some other people die just like a coincidence, like collateral damage. And you know what? I thought it was very well done and I expected some depth, but right in the middle of the movie, that plot line was dropped in a way, and all focus was moved into Batman and his obsession with revenge. And you know what? When we got to the ending, I was just sitting there looking at the screen and go like, when is this going to end? I just want this movie to end because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, 2 hours of very pretty pictures, but no essence whatsoever. So definitely Deadpool wins for me in this sense. As you probably know, I don't watch that many TV shows at the same time. There are some of my favorites which are still airing, and that would be Hawaii Five-O and NCS Los Angeles. Yes, I'm watching both of those. But at the same time, I put on hold a lot of shows that are still airing. That's Elementary and some others. But you know what? I prefer to watch just one or maybe two shows at the same time. So right now, I decided to binge watch Xena. Xena the Warrior Princess is the awesome fantasy family TV show from the 90s, and I absolutely loved it when I was a kid. I watched it more than once, and finally it became available on Show.me, and I love Show.me just because it's like Canadian Netflix essentially. I don't have a Netflix account, but I do have a Show.me account, and now they have Xena available on it, and I've been watching it all March. And I also got my friend to watch it too, which was amazing. I'm on season number 2 right now as I film it, and I really cannot wait to just breeze through the series. I know it's a bit cheesy at times, and you know, compared to what the film industry is able to produce right now in terms of graphics and CGI and everything, it's mind-blowing what we are used to seeing on the screens right now. And when you watch the TV show, which was made 20 years ago, you see that there was absolutely nothing. Like, all of the monsters are obviously people wearing costumes, you know, and they used to shoot the series sometimes in the dark, just because they had to kind of hide the fact that a lot of stuff which was just props, it was not real, you know. And when you watch it, and you can tell that, right, that it's very different in production than the TV shows that are made right now. But at the same time, the acting is superb, and I love Lucy Lawless. She's amazing, and you know, it's such an amazing thing to revisit those memories as a kid. So I'm really excited and I'm watching it. So if any of you watched Xena or know about this TV show, please let me know, because I'm a huge fan. I almost do not buy any music. I have Apple Music subscription, so I use that to download music, and recently I discovered Zayn. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, but I think it's one of the guys from One Direction. I've never been a fan of One Direction, to be honest. I don't really get it. I don't get the hype over this band, but whatever works for you. And I randomly just downloaded his album and started listening to it. And at first I thought, when I listened to the first song, I just thought that it was Justin Bieber, because the music sounds basically the same, but no, it's a different guy. And you know what? The music is a bit like pop, probably. It's intended for teenagers, and I'm obviously not a teenager, but you know what? I enjoyed it. It was fun. And I also listened to Arctic Monkeys' AM album, and I listened to Zia's Thousand Forms of Fear. I randomly pick up albums. I have my favorites, and I usually listen to pop, rock, and jazz. I do prefer jazz and classic music. Since I have Apple subscription, I just use their radio stations, and one which I really love and highly recommend, I've been listening to it for months. It's called Croonies and Cocktails, which is essentially just jazz and blues 24/7. I did travel in March. I went to Montreal for the Easter weekend, and I spent 3 amazing days there with my friend. We had a lot of fun, and mostly we just did a lot of walking around, you know, eating out and watching TV shows in the hotel. Yeah, we did that too. So it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I love going to Montreal for long weekends, and even though I don't have that many friends there, I still enjoy spending time there because it's an amazing city. I did some sort of vlogish type of travel video, and I'm going to post link down below for you to watch it. My most important purchase of March was a new iPad. This is an iPad Pro 9 inches and I absolutely love it. I used to have a very old iPad and it was just so freaking slow, and I use iPad every single day. I use it not only for reading but also web browsing, doing pretty much everything, and I use it for writing too, so this is a very important device for me to have. And I decided to pick iPad Pro 9 inches, not 12 inches, just because it's lighter, it's smaller, and I do not need 12-inch display or whatever you call it. And the most important part about this release is that I love camera on iPhone 6s, and this one has the same camera, which means that I will be able to use it for filming, and also it's super fast, and I have already edited one video on it, which is amazing. And yeah, I'm quite in love with it. And yeah, so here we go, and you can see the time when I'm filming this. Yay. Well, this is it, guys. Let me know if you like this video. This is the first time I'm doing a monthly summary type of video, and you know what, I decided not to do a reading monthly wrap-up just because I do reading progress wrap-ups every week, which means it doesn't really make much sense to do a monthly one as well. But please let me know if you're interested in seeing more of these videos later on this year. I find it very exciting not only to talk about books but also about other stuff. So if you want me to talk about the TV shows and movies that I watch and music that I listen to, and hopefully plays that I go to, unfortunately I didn't go to any in March, but I do plan to go to some in April. So let me know down below what you think about it, and I'll see you very soon. Bye. 3 volumes. No, how many volumes did I read? And I use iPad daily, not only for the... I'm filming this video on April 17th, Sunday, and between April 7th and 10th, 4 days, I went to Jamaica. I came back and I got so busy at work I couldn't even watch YouTube videos. And then on Friday, I got 2 vaccine shots, and I'm super tired because of that. And I even have a sore throat, so I'm kind of not feeling well. And next week my parents are coming over for 2 weeks, and one of the weekends which is going to follow, I will be away as well. And then I'm going to Chicago in May, and you know what, my plan for this weekend is to pre-film 8 videos. I don't even know how I'm going to do this because I've just done 1 and I'm done. I'm like super tired. I cannot even sit straight. It's insane. Yeah. Poor fox, poor fox.